I'm Miss Smitley on Cougar Hall, and today I'm going to share with you the Epic of Gilgamesh. So, what you need to know first is Gilgamesh was an actual king of Ur, one of the civilizations in Mesopotamia. He was your typical king. I mean, he's a king. He did kind of have an ego, though. Like, he's really full of himself. And after a while, these stories called the Epic of Gilgamesh came to be. And in the stories, Gilgamesh was 10 feet tall, 2 parts God, 1 part man, handsome, and he was the best ruler and had the best city. Clearly, he's persuading who's writing the story. But anyways, he was the best at everything. Well, the other part of Gilgamesh was he was really tough on his citizens. In fact, he'd work them. They would be so exhausted, they would die. And they were so scared of him, terrified of him. And Gilgamesh was like, psh, I don't care. And so this continued on for a long time. Finally, the citizens of Ur prayed to the gods, help us! And the gods said, okay, we have an idea. We're going to send Enkidu. That's Enkidu. I know you love my drawings. Enkidu was this half man, half beast, and he was just as tall as Gilgamesh, just as big. And they would go around and have the best adventures. Like, the best adventures. They would take on these ginormous animals and clear out areas. Like, they were a amazing pair of friends. Best buddies. They probably had these, like, BFF necklaces. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. They were BFFs. They had a great time together. One day, Gilgamesh said, I'm going to go steal a wife from someone in my civilization. And Enkidu's like, no. See, Enkidu was sent by the gods to keep him accountable. Do you have that friend that keeps you out of trouble, or maybe that good influence in your life that's like, bad idea? That's Enkidu. But Enkidu took it a step further. He's like, this ain't happening. Not gonna happen. So that Enkidu and Gilgamesh have this massive fight. I mean, it goes on for a while. In the end, Gilgamesh respects Enkidu and is like, hey, I know you're trying to help me. I get it. Well, after many years, Enkidu dies. This makes Gilgamesh so sad. He's like, this can't be happening. But it does. Enkidu dies. The gods decided that Enkidu needed to die. Gilgamesh spends the next many years wandering Earth, trying to find a way that he can live forever. But in the end, Gilgamesh finds out that he's going to die too someday. It's going to happen. And as the story goes, this changed Gilgamesh. He became somewhat of a better king because of this realization. Now let me tell you a story from the early humans. So, based on early human drawings in caves, this story is about a flowing hand and 2 wavy people around the flowy hand, and this stick thing walking away from the hand and the wavy people, and this, whatever that is, thing, and then this thing with 2 horns that might be an animal walking towards the wavy people, or maybe it goes, no, maybe, or maybe those are hands. Maybe these 2 wavy things are booger. I don't know what those are. I have no clue what this is. I don't know what story this tells. The difference being is that Mesopotamia has a written language. Cuneiform is ancient writing. You know the song. Ready? Cuneiform is ancient writing. And because of that ancient writing, we have the Epic of Gilgamesh. See, by creating a language, cuneiform, they could write stuff down, which is how we know the Epic of Gilgamesh, is that thousands of years later, we're finding these tablets And we know the story, which would make Gilgamesh, the actual king, really happy that we're still talking about him years later. Remember, he had a big head, like full of himself. He'd be like, yeah, they're talking about me now. Well, early humans, no written language. Therefore, we don't know about them. We have this, cave paintings, but we really don't know what they were for. We can make educated guesses because some of the cave paintings were detailed, but still we really don't know what their life was like, or is this a story? Is it just someone drawing? Like, what is it? But in Mesopotamia, we finally get a written language that we have proof of, hey, these are what these people did. And furthermore, the cool thing about the Epic of Gilgamesh is it was entertainment. Can you imagine being a child in Mesopotamia listening to these stories about Gilgamesh? I mean, they must have been like, whoa, no, don't do it, Gilgamesh. What? That happened. They were so entertained by these stories. There may have been other stories too in ancient Mesopotamia, but Gilgamesh is the one that's lived on these tablets. So a written language not only provided a way to keep records, but it provided literature. That means stories, like in language arts. Literature that other people could read or retell, and it's lasted a long time. A written language changed a lot for us too. It started back with Mesopotamia.